we get to hear from Allie Cesmat. Allie Cesmat leads our 5th and 6th grade ministry at the Grove, our zone ministry. And a couple of months ago, she had mentioned to me that she had tested as a 2. I said, you shouldn't have told me that because now you're going to speak in big church. And Allie, I love her story. She first started coming to the Grove as a junior hire. And then when she got to college, we hired her as an intern. And then about 3 years ago, we asked her to lead our zone ministry, and she's doing a phenomenal job. Last week, she had over 200 5th and 6th graders in her ministry. Parents love her, kids love her. What I love about Allie is she's a thinker, she's a reader, she's a great teacher of the Bible. And so, since this is Allie's very first time to speak and preach at the Grove, can we give her a big, warm, louder, warm Grove welcome? Okay.
Wow, I feel loved. Thank you, Palmer, and thank you, guys. That was nice. Let me get all situated right here. When I have a new student come in the ministry, I usually will ask them, tell me your name and 3 fun facts about you. After they've told me, I will tell them the same. And so this morning, I'm going to tell you my 3 fun facts. I usually tell them, like the kid version, and then more adult ones about me. So to a 5th and 6th grader, I usually will say, hi, my name is Allie. I will give them a high five. And I will say, I love cats, coffee, and Harry Potter. And I'm immediately their best friend. But for this morning, like Palmer mentioned, I have been at the Grove since I was a 7th grader. My very first day here was the very first day this campus opened in I think like 2007, I want to say, 2006, 2007, and I've been here ever since. I am an Arizona native. I am the middle-ish kid of 4, and I graduated from Grand Canyon University with a bachelor's degree in English Lit and a minor in youth ministry. Go Lopes. Yay. This morning, we are going to be talking about Enneagram Twos, like Palmer mentioned. Twos are known as the helper, or the giver, or the loving person. They hold a lot of names, but they are self-explanatorily really good at giving. Twos are generous. They love to serve and give, not just with physical things, but their time. They love to serve in whichever capacity they're needed. They're very charming. They like to be liked. Another name for them is the Befriender. They just want friends. They love to have people around them. You will find them in churches, often on the meal teams, because they're the first person to offer to make a large meal for whoever needs it. They love to make food. And they are also guys who, if you need your car jumped, if you need something fixed, they're there. How can I help? Let me do that. On our staff, we have a couple twos. We have this guy, Sam, who is the where can I help guy. You need chairs moved? I can do that. You need a wall painted? Sure. You need some cabling run? I got that. He's a very hardwired two. It's often said with the Enneagram that your energy is your attention. And with twos, our attention is on people. We are very attuned to how our relationships are going. We feel filled up and very energized if we have good relationships around us, if we're feeling utilized, if we're being needed, if we are finding places to serve and give where our people are telling us we're well liked and we're being well received. We're good. We're energized. On the flip side of that, we feel drained if we aren't in a place of service, if we aren't finding somewhere to give, if we feel like we're bored, we feel drained, we feel tired, we aren't being utilized to the best of who we can be. Now, I think this comes into play with a two's blind spot, and it's pride. This doesn't make sense if you're a 2 because you're already wanting to say, but Allie, I don't care what I need. If you ask a 2, how can I help you? They're like, no. How can I help you today? But a little bit deeper than that, On a twos off day, when they're tired, when they're stressed, twos want to be needed. They crave being needed. They want to be indispensable to others. Their pride comes into play when they look for their service and their giving to be their worth. And it's not all the time. It's this blind spot. It's this fear that we have that we actually aren't liked. Twos can sometimes give as an investment, hoping that one day that investment they've given will have a good return on it, and that return will be love. That return will be a friend. If I just give more, I'll be liked. If I just give more, they'll fill me up. If I just give more, it's this fear that we have in the back of our mind. Today we're going to look at a two. Her name is Martha, and I love Martha. She's very two. She's a hostess, and she loves her home to feel safe. That's her place to give and give well. When people come into her home, she can serve them, and everything needs to be clean and neat and organized. The laundry's done, the cooking's done, and she can make them food. And on this day, a VIP is coming. Jesus and his disciples are coming, and she gets to serve and give and love them, and she's ready. And we find Martha in Luke 10. And I want you to read this with me, because this is a day where Martha's twiness becomes a little bit of a humanness. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all of the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." If our energy is our attention, and a two's attention is on people, Martha's attention was on Jesus. She got everything ready. She wanted to make sure all of his needs were met, but her intentions behind doing that were misplaced. If our attention is on people, sometimes our intentions or our motivations behind why we are getting things ready or why we are helping can be misplaced. Think about this. A lot of the times, we go to help our friends jump their cars because we want them to get on their way. A lot of the times, we clean our home because we want our family to feel at peace and comforted in their home. A lot of the times, we go to meet with our friends that are hurting for coffee because we want them to know that they are loved and surrounded by their tribe. But sometimes, we have a human moment where our intention is misplaced, and we go to jump their car and we become the hero of their day, and our pride feels a little bit better. Sometimes our family comes home and we've cleaned the house and we're so ready for them to say, "Wow, the house looks so good," and nobody says a word. And that's a little ding on our heart of, did I not clean well enough? Did I place my worth in how clean the house was? If we have 17 coffees scheduled with our friends and we can't get to all of them, did we just let our friends down? Are they going to love us less? See, our pride can sometimes slip in when we're twos, when we are giving and giving and giving. we can sometimes be Martha. I've done this with my students. I don't know if you know this about 5th and 6th graders. They're kind of messy. And I spend a lot of my time cleaning the room. And I organize the chairs, very OCD-like, that I learned how to do as an intern. And I pick up all the trash and I wipe things down. And within 0.5 seconds of them getting there, there's pizza on the ceiling. There's Starburst wrappers everywhere. And I don't know how it happened. It's just they're 5th and 6th graders. And afterwards, I'll pick it all up and I'll get it reset on Sunday mornings for the next group to come in. And I'll kind of stand there it's clean again. And they'll come in and trash it again. And I kind of am do they not love me enough to keep it clean? Guys, they're 5th and 6th graders. They don't care. They don't notice. They're fun things right over their head. And I can't expect to put my worth in them telling me they love me, because here's the thing about 5th and 6th graders as well. I know they love me. I know that, and I love them a whole bunch. And I'm not serving them waiting for them to tell me they love me. I'm serving them because, wow, this is my job, and Jesus has placed me here so I can love them, and that is a blessing. But I'm human, and sometimes I look for my worth in a 5th and 6th grader, and that's okay. But our intentions as twos are often good, are often really good, are often exactly what Jesus wants. Because our intentions as twos are usually to help, to serve, to give, to love well. And that is based in Jesus' heart. He was the ultimate giver. And in John 15, he had a moment with his disciples where he got to explain to them what ultimate giving looked like. And he said, if you remain in the love of your Father, if you remain in the vine, if you remain in me, if you know where your worth comes from, if you know that you are loved, then you can give. He goes on to say, there is no greater love than to lay down your life for a friend. Jesus got what giving looked like, what intentional giving looked like. Because twos, I'm going to let you in on a secret. A lot of people will tell you, you need to slow down. This is people's favorite thing to tell twos. Take some time for you. Maybe you should just, stop doing some things. But twos, I don't think it's about needing to say no. I think it's about, why are you saying yes? I don't think you need to say no to things. I think you need to look at your heart and ask, why am I saying yes to these things? Am I saying yes because I'm looking for this person to tell me I'm worthy? Am I saying yes because I want this person to be my friend? Or am I saying yes because I'm giving from a deeper love? Am I giving from my Father's love? Am I outpouring from a place that is filled up? I was on Instagram the other day, and I saw a Scott Erickson post. If you don't know who Scott is, he's a painter. He comes here on Easter, and he's amazing. He paints usually in that corner, and he just blows you away. And I saw this post, and I was floored. It's entitled, Give from Your Deep. And when I saw it, I was jealous. You heard that right. I was jealous of a painting because the water looks so good. It's so blue. It looks so life-giving. It looks so refreshing. And on the day that I saw this, my heart did not look like that water. My heart looked barren and dry, and the well was barely trickling. Because here's the truth sometimes, is that giving is hard. And doing ministry is sometimes hard. I love it. It's my life, it's my joy, it's my passion, and sometimes I do go looking for my worth in 5th and 6th graders. And sometimes I do end up giving, and I realize at the end of the day sometimes that I am giving from an empty well. And so I'm looking for anyone and everyone to tell me, Allie, good job. Allie, I love you. And so when I saw this and it said, give from your deep, I was floored because that's how I want to give. This Twos should be our anthem. This should be ingrained on our hearts. And every time we say yes to giving, we should say, am I giving from my deep today? Am I going to this meeting giving from the right place? I want to go back to this story with Martha because her interaction with Jesus is important here. Read this with me. It says, Martha was distracted by all the preparations. It says, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Martha was distracted. She was so busy. Her attention was on all the right things. She was doing the laundry. She was cooking. She was doing things that matter to it too. We need to give. We need to serve. We need to go to coffee with our friends. We need to clean the house for our family. We need to fix our friends' cars. But we sometimes miss why we're doing them. He says, you're so distracted by these things. And I'm not telling you to say no. I'm saying only one thing is needed here, Martha. I think Martha brings up Mary's name, not as a throw her under the bus, look what I did and she didn't do. But I think that she came to Jesus saying, Lord, this is what I did today. God, my attention was on you. I did a really good thing today. I set everything up for you today. Do you love me? Like, am I worthy of you today? Was this enough for you to say yes to me today? And she uses Mary as a scapegoat. So Jesus says, hey, everything you did was good, but those things don't matter. You're distracted by those things. He says, only one thing in this moment I need you to know. You are loved, Martha. You are worthy, Martha. Only one thing is needed. He's affirming her. She's coming to him, bearing her heart in her human moment, asking, will you give me my worth? The same way she does in human moments with human people. But this is Jesus. She's waiting for him to return the investment that she's placed in him. And he's saying, no, we're not playing that game today. Because I will always return that. You need to already know that I love you. You need to already know that you are worthy. Only one thing is needed today, Martha. I love you. Twos, we need you. We need you to give from your deep. We need you to give your fullest. We need you to not say no, but we need you to say yes. And I will give from my deep, and I will know why I am giving. 5 years ago, I was sitting in a Sunday morning like this, over in the old sanctuary, that is now the high school room. And Josh and the worship band were playing Come to the Altar. And I was down on my knees sobbing, like face down to the ground, sobbing, because a couple days earlier, probably a week earlier, I had called off an engagement with a relationship, from a relationship with a person who had made giving and love conditional. And I had felt a hand on my shoulder. And I felt a piece of paper slip in front of me. And when the song ended and I composed myself enough to sit up, I read this note and I started sobbing all over again Because from this note came an outpouring of love, an outpouring of service, an outpouring of giving. And there was no name. Nobody waved from across the sanctuary like, hey, that was me. Nobody took credit for this note. Because they weren't giving from a place looking of how I can help this person today is going to be my worth. All they wanted to do was love. All they wanted to do was give from their deep. Twos, we need to do more of that. So I'm not sure if I'm a 2. I have a little bit of a 6 in me, but I'm not sure that I'm a 2. I have a lot to learn still. I'm only 24, so I don't really have some of these life lessons learned. I haven't really learned what way my heart swings. I haven't learned ways to build myself up or what ways I kind of push people away. I haven't learned any of that yet. If you're in this room and you're like me and you're young, I want to say, I don't think you need to know your number yet either. I don't think you need to fully know what ways your heart swings either. I just think we all could learn how to give from our deep. I think we could all learn from each of the numbers a little bit of what God's truth is. I think if we stop looking for a return on our investments and we just love others better, I think we'll be good. And I think when, not if, but when we're Martha, I think Jesus will look at us. He'll take our head in his hands. He'll laugh at us a little bit. He'll nod and he'll understand why we came to him, asking for him to tell us our worth. And he'll say, he gets it. But he'll say only one thing is needed. And it's to know that we are so deeply loved by him. Thank you.